All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Florencio Files. Now, you might be wondering, why hasn't the game started? Pig, what are you doing? It's because we need to watch from the very start to watch this spectacular Florencio opening. It's the instantly recall a probe to your nexus. I don't know if that's a misclick or intentional. I dig it. I dig it. That's sending a message. He's like, Chrono Boost is for cucks and tryhards. I'm just gonna recall a probe. I think it's just a misclick. I think Flo sent me this and said, oh, I thought this was a pretty fun game, though there were some misclicks or something like that. I think he said something, oh, there's some mistakes in it. So I imagine that's what he was talking about. Recall is R. E is for probe on the default. Yeah. That's true. If you use grid or standard, there's a lot of that adjacent keys right next to each other on things. Yeah. I know Protoss who use Chrono and they're all cowards, says Twitch chat. I'm down with it. Well, this is clearly not a coward. He's sending 3 probes across the map. 2 of them are literally inside of each other, as you would want to be, guys. If you're going to go out there to herd cattle on a mountain, it gets lonely, you know? You have a little bit of rum around the campfire, you eat some beans, it gets boring. At a certain point in time, sometimes you got to take solace in this lonely life by climbing inside a fellow worker. And that's exactly what they're doing. Up here in the top left, guys, we have a barcode Zerg doing a 12 pull. Is this a 12 pull? He's got 14 drones. Yeah, that's a 12 pull. So we've got a bunch of Zerglings coming across. The double probe harass is not going to do anything. Oh, no. The probes are trying to run away. He doesn't want to lose these. Oh, he's going to try and block it. Doesn't get the block down. And no, they're no longer inside of each other. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, he's going to try and go for a cannon. I don't think that's a full wall off. I could be wrong, but this could be a real issue if these Zerglings get inside this base. Drones are coming in behind it, lava injects, and the like. Flo, I think we need another pylon here, my bro. Now, one probe goes right, one probe goes left. Going to try and split up, but the Zerglings split up as well. And oh no, they can go. They could have just walked in. What was that micro? What? Don't worry, guys, those Zerglings, they have ear infections, okay? Their balance is off. They're like, go that way! And they just like, they go off in that direction instead. Well, Florencio gets away with murder. Lures the Lings in there, gets another kill. And he's trying to get these probes back inside this base. He's still got one probe on the outside. And much like 2 Trailer Park Girls, they do finally find their way back inside. Oh, no. Oh, gosh, he's let him in. He's let him in. Oh, that probe goes down as well. Third hatchery comes down as well. We've got a gas coming up. And, oh, he's gonna triple pylon wall the top of his ramp. Florencio right now is in a place of deep distraction. Meanwhile, I always use Railroad and Bundle of Snakes. Or Bundle of Sticks or Army of Snakes. Quick, guys, give me another barcode name. I should have looked this up before I started casting the game. But Twitch chat, give me another name for a barcode player. Oh, Matchsticks is another one that we've probably used too many times. I feel like I need something fresh. Barcode Betty. I actually like that. Barcode Betty being a massive nuisance with these Zerglings. You might think, well, they're not killing much. The amount of cancelled buildings alone is stacking up in that mineral cost. Not to mention, Florencio is so distracted. Barcode Betty gets one Zergling inside the base. And is gonna queue up a big circle to try and just be as annoying as possible. Florencio, let's go to his vision. How much is he staring at this? You know he's staring at it so much. He's staring at that Zergling. There's that graphical glitch on the bottom of this map. On this this base, guys. Anyways, he's gonna rally 6 workers. Oh no, okay, he's shift-clicked them. He's rallying workers on a gaseous flow. Got his natural wall off up. The Zergling continues to run circles in this base. It runs out of orders, and he gives it another one. Dude. Barcode Betty's doing really well. Link speed's there, 3 hatcheries. Florencio snuck a probe out, and he's got a corner base, though. The Florencio natural coming up as a 3rd, which is a bit different. Looks like Flo's going to macro a lot harder than we're used to seeing from the Sewer Mermaid. Oh, my gosh. Oh, the Zergling. Oh, it regen. It can survive 1 probe hit now. It's got 6 hit points. 7 hit points. The Zergling still. Dude, this guy deserves a name. I'm going to call him Lenny. Lenny the Zergling has just been running for days around this base. This is sick. I love it because, like, there's an argument you shouldn't do this because as long as Florencio just keeps macroing, this is not going to give you any benefit. But Florencio, I'm pretty sure he's miss macroing a little bit. And the macro for Barcode Betty is actually insane. Like, Barcode Betty is going to get supply blocked soon, but has a massive economy advantage. Lair on the way, Ling Speed. I mean, the distraction of this Zergling, and now Ling Speed kicks in. Look at this. Barcode Betty has played the multitasking trainer. Definitely has played the multitasking trainer. No, keep circling. Keep circling. Bark, yes, Letty. Letty lives. All right, guys, Letty lives. Zealot's there, careful. Oh my gosh. No, he's gonna take, oh no, Letty. He got literally ripped in half. Oh my God. He got chopped up. Oh, he got filleted by that Zealot. That was ridiculous, mate. Damn. Who wants some Zergling mignon? Very tender Zergling meat, which they were no doubt going to have. Medium rare. Best way to cook it. Void Ray is going to come out, guys. We've got an extra 2 Stargates. There's 3 Stargates. Flo finally remembered putting on this gas. He's got to take these gases in the corner as well. He's done the really intelligent rally here, guys. He consciously rallied the probes not on the minerals because of science, of course. He's letting them, he's saying, guys, you got to have your workplace introduction. You know, you got to have your little, what do they call it? Not initiation, not onboarding. I can't remember the word. Anyway, you guys who have actual jobs and don't sit in front of a computer talking about video games, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, basically they have a little meeting. He's given up on that work practice though. He's now focused on efficiency by rallying directly to the minerals. Orientation, that's it. And remember guys, all orientations are welcome in Florencio's base. He's very progressive, very forward thinking. And he says, you know what? People think that's weird. That they're gonna get distracted. You can't have distractions in the workplace. No relationships. I'm pretty sure Florencio encourages his probes to boink each other. I'm pretty sure he's like, look, you guys are allowed to boink. I think robots, if we do it enough, eventually we'll be able to procreate. You guys can get it on. If you're pylon oriented, you get horny towards them. You do whatever you want. You do your thing. Anyway, infestation pit's coming out. Muscular Augments is on the way, so it's going to be Hydras off 4 bases. What does Florencio possibly do against this? I guess Triple Star Oracle's pretty good against Hydras, but dude, Barcode Betty has such a big economy. 13 more drones, not to mention Overlord speed. If Barcode Betty realizes what's happening and just stays hugging Spore Crawlers and Queens with their Hydras, they're going to be in a really good spot because Oracles do bonus damage to light. The problem will be if Barcode Betty pushes with like 20 Hydras, 30 Hydras, and then like 30 Oracles come out and just blitz them. That is where things will be incredibly deadly. But generally, Florencio struggles against players who are comfortable building this level of economy. This is usually a bit of a higher level than Flo's strats are specialized for. I mean, that being said, I'm saying that partially because I've watched a lot of Florencio's Terran and Zerg, which is a bit lower level than his Protoss. Dude, I didn't even realize you could do this. I've never even seen these cooling towers get taken down on this map, guys. How cool is that? Using the cannons to break the cooling towers to cut off the paths to get to this base. That's actually really cool. That gets me really excited. So that base is going to be quite well defended. Mass Oracle's going to move across the map. Hydra's starting to break these rocks down in the middle. How many is that? 5 plus 4, right? That's 9 Oracles. Got more building at home. Warp Gate is being made. Florencio making Warp Gate? Must be wanting to hide some sort of transition. He only makes Warp Gate when he wants to hide units in the back of his base. He doesn't want his opponent to see the units coming out of his gateways. Mass Oracle going in the main. There is a few spores and infestors on the way. I think the Barcode Betty figured out this was happening. The Queens, Transfuse goes down just a second too late. The Oracle and the Queens do fall, and these, the Queens and the Spore do fall, and the Oracle's doing some good damage. Gonna go for the Hive. Vipers are the hard counter to the Oracle. Infestors are good because they can fungal them from out of range of the Hydras. But what's really fascinating here is that is a dead Hive. No Vipers were built. Fungal does catch a few of them. Oh, 3 Oracles going down. Nice catch there, but new lair is being built. He's going to have to remake that Hive from scratch. But Hydra Infestor hard counters Mass Oracle. Going for a ton of Charge Zealots and then swarming could be good on the ground. The problem is 2-2's already on the way. And with 2-2 on the way, that's going to be a real issue. Now, I have no idea what patch version this is on, guys. So as I'm saying this, I'm realizing I don't actually know if this is a new version of Storm. If so, which version of Storm is this? I think Florencio sent this last month. It might have been one of the early versions of Storm that was being trialed, the giant AoE and duration, the 9-second Storm, but like very low damage per second, which was kind of a funky Storm. That was before it had the cast range reduction as well. This might be that version, because I think he sent this on about the 20th or the 23rd of September, something like that. We'll see if he goes for Storm. Yeah, he's going to go for Storm. It doesn't tell us how much damage it does. That's fine. Fleet Beacon's on the way as well. Carriers could be effective. Hive and Spire on the way for Barcode Betty. I would love to see Barcode Betty just go kill Florencio right now, but I don't think Barcode Betty realizes Barcode Betty hasn't seen the corner base. So is thinking, oh, I'm going to 6 bases against a 2-base Protoss. I just need to chill, make sure I don't lose. But actually, now would be the window for Barcode Betty to go and kill. Florencio realizing this, he's putting stasis traps down. Stasis traps looks like the old duration, 170 seconds. This does not look like the new duration, which is just over a minute. These ones look like they last for 3 minutes. Void Ray and Oracle's coming in. Ooh, Void Ray goes down. Oracle takes a few hits. The problem is right now, the Oracle and Void Ray is known about, so we don't really see the Zerg player getting caught off by that. Flo's going to try and take a new base. He's got a good economy so far. Oh, Hydra's just slightly out of position. The Oracles get rid of a Spore Crawler and a pack of drones. Nicely played there by Flo. Storm is coming in. There's that High Templar count, guys. He's got 4 High Templar, 2 Zealots, 21 drones being built by the Zerg. I mean, the Zerg needs to make a second Spire and go double upgrades if they're going to do that. The Zerg is going to have endless money. The problem is, endless money, you still need to turn that into a win condition. And is Barcode Betty kind of tangling themselves up right now? I don't know. They might be. They might be overcomplicating things. Flo's going to go Tempests and for double Robo. Oh, he's going for a complicated composition. Flo building a bit of everything here. Why does this look like bronze? It's because you and most StarCraft players have an inflated sense of how good they are at the video game, and they don't realize that almost all of them would lose 9 times out of 10 to Florencio, even while his strategies look like something a drunk goat thought of while after eating magic mushrooms in the field, and then basically having fever dreams for the next 3 days. His strategies may be that level, but most of us will be so confused by playing against them, we won't know what to do, and we will panic, freak out, and lose. And that's the glory of casting oddball StarCraft. Every time I'm casting different weird StarCraft strategies, by the way, no blink for this massive Stalker transition at 13 minutes. But yeah, every time I'm casting weird strategies, there's always people going, these guys look like they're bronze, what is this? You know, and then I always reveal the rank, and everyone has like a mental breakdown because they realize how bad they are at the game. They're like, wait, I'm worse than this guy? Oh no! That's StarCraft. The great thing about StarCraft is there's many different ways to play it. And if you specialize in weird, unique strategies, sometimes you do very, very well. +2 carapace actually allowing those drones to survive the first Tempest shot. They do start to run away. There's like mass Spore on this map, so only 74 drones. Not that much money for Barcode Betty. Barcode Betty's production tab is actually ridiculous. +1 flyer attacks, anabolic synthesis, adrenal glands, neuroparasite, adaptive talent, burrow, +3 ranged attacks, +3 carapace, +1 melee, chitinous plating. I mean, the amount of upgrades coming in right now are absolutely insane. Lurker Hydra is going to try to come forward, but defending this base seems to be a lost cause. Vipers! Vipers! Oh, get over here! Florencio just getting massive ducted into the Hydras. Where's the second wave, though? He didn't have that many Hydras. The Hydras aren't quite on the edge as well, but about 4 Tempests go down. Very good pickoffs there for Barcode Betty. And the Tempest's going to have to fall back now. Florencio is continuing to mass unupgraded Stalkers, guys. No attack upgrades, no blink. Stalkers are the literal worst units he could make right now. But we're going to see how they mesh with Storm. I think this is the 9-second Storm. I think this is the 9-second, the first version. I'm so keen to find out when these first Storms land. You guys help me out by timing the first Storm in the chat, okay? Because I might be too busy casting and I might miss it. Thank you very much for the love, guys. Florencio used to be GM. I don't think he's played much Protoss recently. I'd imagine he's probably around low Masters with his Protoss right now. I do not know for sure. But they would imagine low masters. His opponent has pretty good macro. Uh-oh. Rocks do come down. Are we going to see some storms? Are we going to see some storms? Florencio, I think he kind of wants to bait the Zerg to running into him. The Zerg army doesn't look that big, but these are Stalkers with no upgrades. They're such a bad unit. Oh, they're so garbage, guys. They're so garbage. But remember, Florencio refuses to make attack and armor upgrades because he doesn't think they're interesting. He thinks you should only get them if you have a specific purpose. And for him, he thinks armor and attack, just boring. Armor, attack, lame. He would much rather spend his money on things like mass unupgraded Stalkers 15 minutes into the game so that he has the most redundant army you could possibly have in StarCraft. He reveals the creep tumor doesn't actually finish killing it. He moved commands away. That's part of Florencio's system, remember, guys. He does like to actually just damage his opponent's things but not kill them. It's part of his philosophy of doing psychological warfare. So he realizes age-old military technique. If you are willing to go all out on warfare, you can actually do this thing where injuring your opponent's soldiers, if they have take good care of them, can be more effective, because then it takes 2 soldiers to carry that injured soldier off the front line. It takes a lot of medical resources to care for them. So he realizes damaging his opponent a lot is often more effective than anything else. His whole army's stuck, guys. He's tried to do a sneaky recall to the top right. It's taken him like a minute to realize he trapped his own army behind the rocks. He's also got Stalkers and High Templar down here just running around on creep. Broodlords are right in front of them. Oh, I think these are the new Broodlords, maybe. They look like they fired pretty quickly. Maybe it's just because the High Templar moved so close to them. Oracle's moving north. Spinecrawler's trying to attack. Stalker's coming in. We still haven't seen any storms. These Infestors are going to come out and they're going to die. No, actually, 2 of them got saved by the stasis trap. Tempest, High Templar. Storm goes down! Guys, this is the new Storm. No, this is the 6-second Storm. I think this is 6. Oh my god, is it? Actually, this might be Old Storm. This might be Old Storm. Oh my gosh. This High Templar just got wrecked by Ultras. I think this is just classic Psy Storm in this game. The Tempest getting wrecked by Microbial Shroud Hydras. Dude, this Zerg is the sweatiest nerd I've ever seen. Why is he running away? He was winning that fight. Why? What? Why is he running away? He was winning. He was winning that fight. Was Florencio actually GM? Oh yeah, he like hit GM like 1 time, I think. He was definitely very high masters and beat a ton of GM players back in the day. Dude, he ran away from a winning fight. Barcode Betty, what are you doing? Kill him. You can A-move that, bro. You can A-move that. All right, what's the pros of it? No, people used to be disgusted when they found out Florencio was like GM/high masters. They would lose their minds. They were so embarrassed. But he's a master of dark arts, man, of sorcery. Now, Barcode Betty still ended up taking the better engagements up there, 5,000 resources ahead. Florencio's going to answer this by continuing to mass unupgraded Stalker. Most useless unit he could possibly make. High Templar, pretty effective. I think this is classic Storm. I think this is all pre-patch now, guys. It's got a 5th base coming up down here. These probes are going to need to run back at some point. Also needs to saturate these gases. His gas bank is not that big. He's going to go for disruptors. Now, I imagine these are the disruptor that does 100 damage. It should be because it's this. Yeah, if it's Maganatha, it's this patch. So 100 damage disruptors. We'll take 2 shots to kill the Lurkers. The Lurkers should have 190 hit points. I think they're all dead. Oh, no. Yeah, 190 hit points for the Lurkers. So this is just previous patch, I believe. Bastards running down the left. For those who don't know the OG story of how I discovered Florencio, someone used Florencio's recall strategy to recall all of their probes and 6 zealots into my base. So they built a nexus in my main base and then recalled 6 zealots and all their probes, and they beat me with it on ladder. It was back on an old map. Oh, a duck's coming in! Oh, big of ducks! Dude, great plays here, but okay, picks off a few units. Very fancy play here by Barcode Betty, trying to use all of the spellcasters. Florencio, on the other hand, is just headbutting his units in. He's not going too fancy. He's like, who needs anything else? He's got a Stalker inside his Warp Prism for some reason. He's just kind of poking with the Tempests. I do think if the Zerg just makes Ultra Corruptor, this is probably the easiest win of his life. But he's got Queens, Hydras, Infestors, Vipers, Ultras, and Lurkers. This Zerg is trying to use every single unit under the sun. And that makes the game really complicated. I would dare say overcomplicated. It's going to give the Florencio with no attack or armor upgrades. Sorry, guys. I know you can't see. There's an upgrade tab behind me. I'm going to remove my camera in a second, or I'll move out of the way. Look at these upgrades! 2-3-3-2 for Zerg. Protoss, no attack or armor upgrades. Nothing! Nothing! And yet he's bullying him! Oh, he's going to recall. He does the recall again? Where'd he recall to? Well, he leaves a few units behind. Looks like he just recalled for safety because he didn't want to get caught on the way out. More drones, more spines and spores building. I think this army's just a bit too mixed. I think the Zerg should sack the Hydras. And maybe, because of Storm, and just get more Corruptors, more Ultras. Ditch the Spellcasters. I don't even know if you need Spellcasters. I know there's a few Immortals, but there's not that many, you know? I feel like the Zerg could absolutely swarm through and wreck him, but this is what happens when you play like a late game player, where you've got a lot of trauma against late game. I used to do this against mech players all the time, where I'd be like, you can never break a mech player. And then I'd look at the replay after, I'd realize they had 2 siege tanks on 5 bases. But I was too afraid to attack because there was a tank on the high ground. And I just like let them survive when I had a maxed army, and I was like, oh, and I'd lose the game 10 minutes later. And it would just be absolutely tragic. Cloak comes in for the mothership, guys. He's repositioned, he snipes a hatchery. Florencio gets in, snipes a hatchery, pulls back. It's so weird to see Florencio playing like, this is kind of like a proper late game. Not really done properly, but he's got like splash damage, air units, a bit of ground support. Obviously, the lack of upgrades, the low High Templar count is incredibly sloppy, but it's like, it's so close to an approximation of a pro gamer strategy compared to what I normally see for Florencio. It's fascinating to behold. Chat says 6k bank. They're calling for a triple forge. Indeed, he should. He still hasn't saturated these gases. They've both only had one worker mining them the whole time. Super low on gas, but he does saturate this one. Worker transferring in Florencio. Name a less iconic duo. He's got probes idling all over the shop. And the Zerg player is going to build another 13 drones. When you've got 13,000 resources in the bank and 70 drones, one would argue you probably don't want to use that supply on more drones. But Barcode Betty here has a fetish for being the most Zerg player ever. You guys know there's Zerg players who just don't attack, guys? They just build static and try to mine out the map, and the only way they take a fight is if you attack into them, and they want to just defend. And he's done a pretty good job of it so far, but the scary thing now is Protoss army supply is higher, and there's not much anti-air. 3 Corruptors and 12 Hydras. Oh, that recall. Look at that juicy recall on the right side. Gets in, does damage, recalls up to the right side. Gonna do some more damage here. A bunch of the Immortals did recall on the other side of the cliff, though. The Infestors coming in. Oh, no! 3 Infestors, 4, 5 Infestors have gone down. 3 Infestors are left. There's a lot of Vipers coming in, but, dude, they're all in feedback range. They're just sitting above that High Templar. They do abduct the Disruptor, abduct the High Templar. It goes down as well. There's not a lot of basic attacking units here, though. There's 2 Lurkers still, or 3 Lurkers still in the army. So much stuff. Barcode Betty with the upgrades. Could just A-move, right? Barcode Betty runs away again. Dude, I feel like Barcode Betty is like a vampire, and Florencio, every time his army's about to get wrecked, he just throws like a clove of garlic on the ground, and Barcode Betty just shits his pants and runs away squealing. Like, the chat says he's afraid to go off creep. Yeah, the moment he's off creep, he's like, oh, I can't step off creep. He thinks it's the goddamn Dalaran mission in Warcraft 3 where there's the field that damages your units whenever you go there. He's like, no, if I step off creep, bad. Just go fucking win the game, you idiot. What are you doing, mate? Why are you're building more spine crawlers? What is this? I mean, Florencio's still refusing to make upgrades, but it's giving him a lot of time to build up his immortal count to counter the ultras. Fungal goes out. Fungal doesn't really do anything on its own. Only 25 damage a pop. Time Warp does go down. Vipers once again ready for abducts. There's so few units that actually shoot up, though. He's still burrowing his single lurker. He doesn't want to fight away from the one lurker. Barcode Betty, mate. Builds 5 Corruptors, still not maxed out, and a massive 77 worker count, despite 16,000 resources in the bank. Vipers coming in for some abducts. There's no anti-air units. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are you abducting into? Like a few Hydras and Corruptors. What is this? Florencio has officially broken this man's brain. He recalled around the map a few times and the Zerg's just like having a meltdown. The Ultras finally A-move and they kill everything instantly. And now we run away. Why? Why? I mean, I guess we don't have any answer yet. Pull back, build Corruptors. Why are we making Hydras? You could not make this any more unnecessarily overcomplicated if you tried. I guarantee you, the guys complaining on Reddit all day about Protoss being overpowered, that's this guy. Barcode Betty, is this those guys on Reddit that whine about Protoss being overpowered? Just make Corruptors an attack move. It's not that hard when you're parasiting a single one. Just give up the base, you absolute donkey. This is appalling. This one lurker is still there on the ground. The Tempests are ruining him right now. Corruptors are a hard counter to Tempests. I've never... This Zerg is legitimately really good. 350 average APM, sick macro, sick creep spread, pretty decent spellcaster usage. But the moment we've got to late game, it's like the Zerg's brain has melted from the inside out and they forgot how to play StarCraft. I've never seen such a combination of intensely good play and the ability to throw the game. I mean, where's the Major League Baseball scouts in the audience? You guys, you got a prime pickup. This guy can throw harder than anyone. And we're building Hydras against Tempests. Why aren't you making Corruptors? Why? What are you doing? This is the most one crappy army I've ever seen. The Zerg's maxing on Hydras. The unit that's hard countered by Psystorm. What are you doing? Now we're going to attack with 7 Corruptors and 5 Hydras? The Tempest could have A-moved that. Oh my lord. I mean, hats off to Florencio for making this work with no upgrades. He's got Zealots in there as well. Zealots in the north. And the Zerg's brain is melting down. There's only one thought in the Zerg's head, and it's flashing red. F Protoss. Fuck Protoss. Fuck. That's all they've got running through their head is fuck Protoss. Puck Protoss. Puck Protoss. Puck Protoss. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Unfair race. Unfair race. I'm like, Hydra Corruptor. This is the Loco composition, guys. That's right, Loco. Famous, best StarCraft player in the world. The guy who's literally never beat a SkyToss player. Loco, literally, I'm pretty sure, did he get to Grandmaster before? I feel like Loco got GM years ago, right? I think he got to GM one time, or at least High Masters. I'm pretty sure even at his peak, Loco couldn't beat a 3.4k Protoss SkyToss player. And there's no shame in that. We all have our blind spots. I love Loco. He got really good, but like, we all have that one strategy that we just can't be rational against. And I think for this Zerg, it's the moment that Protoss builds flying units. There's something melted down in their brain because they did so good against the Oracles. They literally crushed the first Tempest army, and in the middle of killing the last Tempests, they had 8 Hydras in a Microbial Shroud, and what did? They just ran away. They literally went, oh, Protoss is beating me. Even in the middle of winning a fight, they literally, like, they're so delusional, they can't see reality. They're so convinced Protoss is Imba that they convinced themselves they were losing a battle that they were winning. There's no storm here, so Corruptors could easily A-move. Instead, we're going to attack Hydras around a cliff. 4 Corruptors are going to chase a single Tempest and get absolutely wrecked by the completely unupgraded Protoss army. The Infestors are coming in from the left. What is this control? The Hydras are A-moving probes right now. What am I looking at on my screen? I cannot fathom. I cannot fathom what I'm looking at. The Tempests are just going to micro around the ledge. This is the worst place Hydras could possibly fight this army. And yet he still might be able to overwhelm it because of his upgrades. The Hydras coming in from both sides. Don't run away. Just A-move. You're winning. You're winning. Maybe not straight up winning, but you would have at least killed most of the Tempests. Why? What is wrong? What is wrong with this Zerg player? Every time he's winning, he's like, oh, Protoss is so unfair. Just freaking attack move. Florencio has done nothing in this game that requires anything than attack moving basic units. I kid you not, Ultra Corruptor just wins this game. At any point, if Barcode Betty actually makes Ultra Corruptor and attack moves, they cannot lose. It's impossible, but they keep making Hydras. What is happening? Oh, this isn't even an entertaining game for the gameplay. It's entertaining. I hope it's not too painful for you guys watching it. You guys let me know in the comments because you're watching me in pain. This is like, Pig has to watch this game. Like, you know, you go from watching a several hero 4-3 Maestros of the Game series to watching this. And it does hurt a little bit, I gotta say. Like, Hero makes crazy plays, but Florencio and his opponent here are an entirely different level. For some reason, still making Hydra Lurker. So guys, Hydra Lurker are both units that are countered by Tempests. When if the Protoss gets to Tempest and you're still on Hydra Lurker, you always go, it sucks, I don't have a Spire, I think I'm probably dead because I can't build Corruptors. This Zerg had Corruptor Ultra Route, which hard counters the unit comp of flow, and they keep tech switching back into Hydra Lurker. The level of understanding is opposite. It's actually impressive, because sometimes high-level players do this when they get a mental block, where they actually have lower results than if they played their strategies based off multiple choice. Like, you could guess a multiple choice unit comp, and it would probably have a higher chance of winning this. It would almost certainly have a higher chance of winning this than what the Zerg is doing. Barcode Betty is actually continually picking the worst option repeatedly, and that is actually very impressive. I'm telling you, the macro is incredible. The amount of money, the amount of resources on the line for this Zerg. The problem with Zergs who play very properly, and players in general in StarCraft, is they often have this idealized idea of playing a macro game. I have coached thousands of these guys over the years, and often I'll say, oh, you're really bad at micro, you're not good at punishing your opponent when they're greedy. You know, I'll be like, hey, we need to work on engagements, punishing greed, being more active. We're going to do some timing attacks. And, you know, and they'll be like, I don't want to play cheese. I'm not a noob. And I'll be like, no, you just sit in your corner and you lose a lot of games where if you actually learn how to attack, you'd be good. And they're like, attacking's for losers. And like, they'll have these like scoffy kind of uppity views of like, oh, you can't attack in StarCraft or you're a low IQ ape. And I'm like, you guys realize you're friggin' tragically bad at certain parts of the game, right? And they're like, the only way to beat Skytoss is to play Infestor, Corruptor, Viper, Broodlord, Lurker, Hydra, and you have to play perfectly like Cyril or you can't win. And I'm like, if you're playing the best Protoss in the world, I agree. If you're playing anyone else, especially if you're below 5k MMR, but even in GM a lot of the time, Ultra Corruptor does very, very well. I learned this because in 2020, Blizzard dropped their last patch for StarCraft 2 before the Balance Council took over. They buffed the Void Ray 3 times. It was the worst patch ever. It created a late game stalemate meta where it would always go to the very, very late game. And every Zerg was trying to do this style. Cyril was the only really one who could pull it off with, you know, Lurkers and Corruptors and Vipers and Broodlords and really fancy dual spellcaster control. No one else could pull it off except him. And everyone was complaining about how unwinnable late game was. And then there was one man, and I think some of you know this story, some of you know who that man is. Let's just say he's got dad energy. Let's just say the man had a mustache that made him look like a Bond villain. Let's just say the man's built like a friggin' tank, and he talks a lot of shit. Yes, he's a Korean man who, unfortunately, to the detriment of the entire StarCraft scene, is in the military right now. We are talking about Dark. Daddy Dark, as some like to call him. And I remember watching Dark get to late game, being behind against Protoss and thinking, well, he's not as good at Cyril at the late game. He can't do anything. He's just going to lose. And what does Dark do? He makes 12 Ultras and 20 Corruptors and he A-moves the Protoss player and wins the game. And I'm just there like, but, because I'd bought into it as well. Everyone was saying it, pro gamers as well. Everyone was going, oh, you have to play like Cyril. It's the only way. And I was like, did he just A-move like this really sick like Archon Storm carrier mothership army with Ultra Corruptor? He just A-moved that and crushed it. And I was like, oh. And Dark was just there with this shit-eating grin on his face. He's like, you know, not everything in StarCraft needs to be as hard as you imagine it to be. And I was like, Dark had this elegant simplicity to his play. And right now, the Dark strategy would easily win this game, especially with so many unupgraded Stalkers. 48 supply of garbage filler in Florencio's army. Ultras would crush. No Immortals right now, but there's only one Ultra. And once again, Barcode Betty's going to get baited in from the edge. Not sure what's going on here. Florencio. Oh, free ball in it. For those who don't know, Florencio, I have hung out with him a few times in person. He does live in California. Keep in mind, guys, it's often hot there in California. If it's a sunny day, you guys are hanging out eating. Just try not to sit directly in front of him. Sit to the side. Like, make sure you're not on an angle. I mean, if you don't mind getting an eyeful of amazingly swampy scrot, it's totally fine. But I'm just saying, he doesn't like to wear underwear. He does like to leave his balls hanging out a little bit. And I personally don't mind, but I know a lot of you are a lot more sensitive than me. So if you guys do have an issue with getting ambushed by a sneaky nut while you're hanging out, having a beer or something like that, just make sure you don't want to be sitting directly in front of his man spread, because you will see one of those balls dipping out once in a while, you know? It does happen, and it's fine. He's a sewer mermaid. No shame on him for it being swampy down there, guys. Like, it's just is the way it is, you know? I think it's fine. I mean, you do want to keep that dry, especially the older you get, the more folds there are. Certain fungus and microbes can find a very hospitable environment, something you got to be careful about as you get older. But Flo, he's a young man still, you know. It's not too big of an issue. He's going to recall yet again. Oh, to the bottom left. Nice. He's like, I'm here, now I'm over here. And I think every time he does this, it triggers the player. Because remember, we already identified this Zerg thinks Protoss is overpowered and is mind gaming themselves. So if you guys are Protoss and you ever identify a player who thinks you're like, oh, Protoss is so unfair, you just want to use as many of Protoss' special abilities as possible. Spam recalls, spam prism harassment, you know, use time warps, use all the fancy abilities. Florencio literally just A-moved 20 Stalkers and 2 High Templar to their death, by the way. Beautiful maneuvers, fam. Once again, the Infestors keep coming forward to throw Fungal at the Tempests. If anyone can explain to me what that's supposed to achieve, let me know. Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say 300 total hit point unit? 4 times 3. It's going to take you 12 consecutive Fungals to kill a Tempest. I don't think it's going to do anything. I think what you might want to do is you might want to Fungal when you're engaging with Corruptors and Hydras, which apparently we just aren't too keen on doing. Fungal's like a bug on the windshield of the Protoss fleet. Exactly! We're gonna recall. Oh, I'm over here again! Oh, I'm over. Did you think you were gonna mine the gold base again? Did you think you were gonna do that, Florencio? Having fun, recalling left, recalling right, recalling center. Zerg is not maxed. This is how you know the Zerg's brain is broken, guys. He doesn't know what to build. He's got Lurker, Infestor, Hydra with a single Ultra as the mascot. And he's just not maxing right now. He's just sitting there, 50 supply free, 20k in the bank. And he's just going, no, what do I build? Protoss is so imba. How could I possibly counter unupgraded Stalkers and Tempests? And as we can see, guys, a single Lurker counters the entire ground army or a single Ultra. So all you need is something to kill the air units. Finally lunging some Hydras forward, grabs 2 Tempests. At least that's something. The Ultra micros back. How sweaty can you get? Did this guy just micro his red hit point Ultra back from the Stalkers? What? This guy is so sweaty. Still 360 APM. What are you doing with your APM? Just literally take your hands off the mouse and keyboard for 30 seconds, think about the game, and then stop overthinking. Actually, that's the problem, is he's overthinking it. You know what? I think Barcode Betty needs a beer. I think Barcode Betty actually needs a beer. You know what? You know what's funny, guys? I think Barcode Betty's going to win this game. I just don't know how you can lose with a 20,000 resource bank against a guy who doesn't upgrade his units and keeps making mass unupgraded Stalkers. Like, I feel like Barcode Betty has done everything they can to throw this game. And you know, at the end, they're going to be like, oh, thank God I played a perfect StarCraft game against this Protoss. Protoss is so easy, but luckily I outplayed him. It's like, you did not outplay anything. You outplayed yourself for this entire game. And absolutely Delulu. Tempest. Oh, why are we running away? The Hydras were under the Tempests. Florencio wasn't watching, and once again, the Hydras run away. Oh my gosh. You're so stupid. Oh, Barcode Betty, why are you so dumb? Like, did you guys see that? The Tempests were literally getting hit by the Hydras, and he's like, oh, he's going to pull back any moment now. I should run away. StarCraft is a very psychological game, guys. It's very easy to mind game ourselves, overthink things. By the way, we've clearly lost more money trying to mine these bases than we've gained from mining it, right? Like, I feel like as the Zerg, mining these bases is literally like the only thing keeping the resources lost even between the two players. Like, why? You have 20,000 resources in the bank. Why are you still building drones and 4 hatcheries? Why? Finally, we're throwing away the queens. Thank God. They were not helping the Zerg player at all. Florencio's taking a new base since he's almost out of mining. He's still got idle probes all over the shop. He's back up to 15 Tempests. He didn't even build, by the way, guys. This whole time, I just realized, Florencio didn't even make tectonic destabilizers. Tempests do 40 damage against ground. They have an upgrade that makes them do 80 against buildings. Literally double damage against the main thing they've been attacking all game, hatcheries, spines, and spores. Florencio hasn't upgraded. It even fits into his philosophy of make it because you have a purpose. It's so dumb. The Zerg still doesn't know how to build Corruptors. I love how the Zerg built like 3 Corruptors earlier, flew them in, lost them to Tempest, Stalkers, and Storm. And the Zerg has concluded from this that Tempests counter Corruptors, and Corruptors are bad. Dude. Stalkers coming in there. They're going to kill nothing. Florencio just throwing them away and maxing on Tempest. We're going to go mass Viper to counter this guy. 6 Vipers being built right now. He's lost 5 this game. 23 Infestors. 50 Hydras, 16 Queens. The Hydra Ultra is going to run in and kill this Nexus. I'm lost for words, guys. I am actually lost for words. I look forward to all the comments saying that was a painful experience. I needed to drink 6 whiskey shots to get through that game. Oh. I always wonder if putting a game up like this on YouTube is good or bad for viewership. I think I'm going to do it just for the experimentation. Because I think, at the very least, is a memorable shared experience we can have as a community where we can all go, remember that 40+ minute game on Maganatha? Where Florencio kept recalling mass unupgraded Tempests around and the Zerg's brain broke and they built nothing but Hydras and Infestors all game? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a viewer who is watching live and they've been watching while playing ladder. Their name is Astromast. Astromast says, oh, thanks a lot, Pig. I was just playing against Skytoss while watching. Astromast has queued into a Skytoss player, ran into them, realized making Ultras and Corruptors would make the game easier, made them, A-moved the Protoss, beat them, has come back to Twitch chat to report, thanks for the advice, while this game's still going on. While this game is still going on. That's amazing. Astromast's like, so stupid. That's amazing. Well, glad to help some of the Zergs out of it. Skytoss is really frustrating to play against. I get tilted when I play against Skytoss as well, guys. Just not this level of tilted. What this is over here, me no likey. I do like the extra Ultras coming in. Problem is, that's going to give plenty of time now because we're not trading offensively. It gives Florencio time to build more Immortals. Now, remember, these are unupgraded Immortals, guys. They do 50 damage. -7 from the +3 Carapace Chitinous Plating Ultras. So you're only doing 43 damage a shot with the Immortals. You should be doing +15. They should be doing 58 damage if they had +3. They're doing 43. If someone wants to crunch the numbers, please do it for me. And a max Ultra has 500 hit points. So if you guys could divide 500 by those 2 different numbers, 43 as opposed to 58, I would love to find out just how much that is ruining Florencio's ability to actually chew through those Ultras as quickly as he should. They're still a good unit against them, but not as good as they should be. Thank you, Senji, for the sub. Thank you, all I want is a loaf of bread. Excuse me, guys. I realized as well, for a while there, I wasn't enjoying casting flow files and different funny games as much, just because I felt like there's often like entertaining storylines, but there's also a lot of pain of watching the players just break down and just do really dumb things repeatedly. I've realized that doing it live on stream is very cathartic because it's more like I can feel the shared experience with the community where you guys are also kind of going, oh, and like pulling your hair out and going, what are they doing? Another recall comes in. Oh, the single lurker. The single lurker gets the High Templar. The only 2 High Templar in the army go down. Why are the Vipers running away? There's no High Templar. Just A move, you idiot. And once again, we're fighting with the Hydras behind the ledge with Microbial Shroud. The Hydras aren't even in range. And we're attacking with only 5 Corruptors. I could not engineer a stupider engagement if I tried. Go around the ledge, you absolute nincompoop. You're just running back and forwards. What? I just A move. You could literally A move and just drop parasitic bombs on everything and you'd do well. It's flabbergasting. Like 6 Vipers as well. What for? Can I feed? I offer it, guys. I will offer a free coaching session. I don't know who Barcode Betty is, but I will give you free coaching if you reach out to me and prove this is you. Neuroparasites come down all over the Tempests. Dude, he figured out how to A-move and cast a spell. He could have killed these Tempests. Instead, he's too busy killing the Tempest that he's neuroparasited. I mean, it's not too bad, I guess, but definitely a bit more tryhard than it needed to be. He kills the army. Florencio's out of money. He literally stumbles into a fight that wins the game. Florencio's going to GG. He has no gas. He's got a GG. Florencio will actually give up now. Even though he's got a little bit of gas mining there, that's it. He's got like a few hundred gas, 2,000 minerals. The Zerg player has literally tried so hard not to win this game, and then finally wins a fight and wins the game. I mean, oh my gosh. The incompetence knows no bounds, but hats off to Florencio for sticking true. I mean, what I'm impressed is that Florencio traded this evenly in a 45-minute game with no upgrades, refused to make tectonic destabilizers, didn't make a single attack or armor upgrade, didn't make the Tempest building damage upgrade, and yeah, he's now just kind of going, oh, I don't know if there's anything I can do here. His opponent is still doing what they do. They're rebuilding queens. At 45 minutes into this game, the Zerg is like, oh, I need 5 queens because that's my perfect composition. Literally, in this Zerg's head, they need to be able to transfuse units for peak efficiency. Guys, StarCraft is about prioritization more than anything else. This Zerg has done so many minute optimizations that are so amazingly sick if the main strategy wasn't so absolutely brain damaged. The Ultra Hydra keeps running back and forwards. A move! What are you doing? What is this Zerg army doing? There's literally like 6 Zealots and 5 Tempests, and the Zerg's like running back and forwards with their army. What are you... What are you... This is the worst StarCraft. I have never seen someone this bad in my... What is that? What is this micro? Attack move, you absolute donkey. Why? In his mind, this is an unbeatable Protoss army. There's 47 Archons and High Templar back here, and he's like, oh, I gotta abduct them one at a time, man. I gotta abduct them one at a time. Florencio is literally just scratching his head like, why are these guys still killing stuff? Like, he knows he's dead. The only person... Why are we building a Spore Crawler? Is this an AI? Did someone build an AI, but they programmed it to have trauma against Protoss? This is the... What are you doing? I don't... It hurts. This is not spellcaster practice. It's the worst spellcaster usage I've ever seen. Guys, this is not hard. You A-move your ground army and you fly your casters in and cast spells. It's not hard. Why are we splitting the Hydras down up from the army? I don't... What are you doing? They literally couldn't win the game. Florencio had to leave. Florencio is just there like... He's literally just pants down like... just going, do you want to finish me or what? And the other guy's like, oh, it's Protoss units. It's Protoss units. I cannot believe it. 350 average APM maintained over 47 minutes and literally tons of minute micro things prioritized, but no actual decision making that would win the game. This was probably the most painful game I have ever cast in StarCraft. If you guys have ever seen a more painful one, you let me know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have been enjoying the games, please don't forget to check out the Patreon. Everyone in chat, while we're doing that, please type the one word in chat to describe what you think of this game. We're going to show Twitch chat in a moment. Everyone in chat, do that right now. One word that you would use to sum up this game. Big thank you to Wuzhang, Peden, and Dragosar. 3 people on our D-Town Express tier. Thank you so much for the support, as well as everyone else here on our other tiers. If you guys want to support my Patreon, there's a link down below in the description. I really appreciate all of you for going above and beyond and getting a few cool perks that we have exclusively on Patreon. Let's see. Abortion? Failbot, Chad, shit, spicy, indigestion. I like abortion. I don't know. Brain melt, damaged, boosted, excellency, gabagool, dementia, aneurysm. I think you guys have summed it up better than I possibly could have. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Goodbye and good night.